And good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Texas Motor Speedways. We're getting set for race number 12 of the 2023 PCSRA Monster Energy Series. We're capping off what has been a very interesting race weekend here at the Texas Motor Speedway, although it has been a wild one from trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings, because we've had drivers get called to the respective haulers or the big whatever truck, or the big colored truck, as we like to say, for, well, not only LePage in the field, but causing wrecks. So hopefully these drivers learn their lesson and not cause any issues here this evening's race. 34 laps, fuel mileage will not be an issue, and it's at nighttime conditions. The previous two races we had for this weekend has been the daytime. Anne Maria and Red Riding Hood on the front row. Gonna go ahead and get these cars rolling. There's the rest of the grid. There's a look at your point standings entering this race. After this, we only have one more race to go in the first half of the regular season before we get ready for All-Star Race Weekend. That will be great. Couple of things to mention. First off, driving the 015 is Annie Winters. Of course, she crashed out of yesterday's Buffalo Wild Wings series. The driver behind her, Mia Watts, making her first start of the season. In the 10, that is Noah Parker, sponsored by Studnud, becomes the 5th entry for Australian Motorsports. And last but certainly not least, we should go back to the 05. And last but certainly not least, the 017. That is Abigail Furling. She is making her first start of the season. It's going to be interesting to see how this race is going to do at night, because the previous two races have been during the daytime conditions. So nighttime arrives for these drivers, and it's like prime time. Which four drivers will lock themselves a spot possibly into the playoffs, providing no part-time driver goes to victory lane? Also, I should mention, as we're going green, Jake Littletown is making his first start of the year in that 081. As we're back to green, as glad I didn't miss. Sarah Littletown, who you will see later tonight, she will also be making her first start of the season. And I don't think she's in this race. She's in one of the division races coming up. And also, I also forgot to mention, Emily Elizabeth moves over to Hendrick Motorsports for the rest of the season. So that way, Emily Elizabeth can keep her playoff hopes alive here in this series. Of course, she runs in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Did not have the run she would have liked yesterday. And there's Brian Gomez. A couple of stories we are going to mention throughout the night. See how Annie Winters does in her return to the Monster Energy Series, as she runs the Honda Accord. Of course, previous few races was driven by Bill Littlejohn, the father of Prudence Littlejohn, who's not in this field tonight. And I believe Annie Winters would be in this ride for the rest of the season for Monster Energy, so she will not be a factor as far as the drivers who do not have a, that would be in the danger zone. There's Sarah, oh yeah, Sarah Littletown's actually in this race. I forgot to mention that. Sarah Littletown. Funny thing is, Sarah and Jake are in this race together, so both of them making their first starts of the season. Same with Abigail Furling and Jake. There's Jake. Jake Littletown raced here in 2016 when he drove the 31 for RCR in 2016. I don't think he had a good run in that race. Ooh, Annie Winters got up into the wall. And to the lead is, or actually there's Ari Springer. Of course, how she came away with a good result after her car was badly damaged from the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race yesterday is beyond me. It's not surprising that we're racing Texas at night, as Audra Baranowskis goes for the race lead. She comes in this race 23rd in the points. And if Audra Baranowskis goes to victory lane, she would possibly be locked into the playoffs, providing she remains in the top 50 in the points. There's Audra Baranowskis leading. Of course, Mazda has been the victory lane at least once this season. That was with team owner William Brock. Mazda trying to go to victory lane for the second time this season. Brian Gomez trying to go to victory lane, I believe, for the... I don't know how many wins he has this season. We'll see how he does. Brittany White has a 202-point gap over Luke Knight. Ari Springer, who's in this race, is third in the points, 206 points back. Amber Whitecastle fourth, 225 back. 234 back is Josephine Bouvier. She rounds out your top five. That's Katsura Mirmoz, Valentina Fernandez, and Maria in this race. Mandry Campbell and Frida Suarez. That will complete your top 10. That's your top 10. The points presented by Golden Corral. Talking about the playoff grid, Brittany White would still be the number 1 seed. Valentina Fernandez would be number 2. Mike Chilton is 3, and then we have Ari Springer 4, Bouvier 5, Katsura Mirmoz 6, Whitney Wolf 7, Chelsea Richards 8th. 9th would be Bridget Thomas. 10th is Strawberry Lawson. 11 would be Brian Gomez. Holly Wilkins is 12. 13, Makoto Tanaka, Red Riding Hood 14th. Pablo Massa 15th. Nina Cambridge is 16th, so she would own the final one over, which she has a 7-point cushion over Samantha Maple. And Brianna Knight, who's outside the top 50 in the point standings. Prudence Littlejohn not in this series. For this here tonight, she'll lose some spots, even though she's not running for the title anyway. Ivory Walker also has a win. Same with Ben Erickson, Kelly Moore, Jacob Tutu. Also June Einstein and Jazz Sugartown and Kenneth Ayers. As of now, those wins would not count towards a spot into this season's chase for the championship because they're outside top 50 in points. Caution's out for the first time tonight. Emily Elizabeth involved. Oh, we had a wreck up ahead. That's Lily Gordon. Oh, don't wreck the 024. Our first caution of the night. Let's take a look and see what happened. Abigail Furling was also collected in whatever this incident was. Let's see what happened here. And it looks like Lily Gordon got into Frida Suarez. They came down into Ricky Cervantes. And there goes the 086 up into the wall. Then the 54 gets turned by Emily Elizabeth. Zoe Perry was also collected in this. Almost collected Bo Van Gesset in the 037. 4 cars involved. Surprisingly, it was the only 4 cars that were involved. Then we got to figure out what happened up ahead with Lily Gordon, because she also spun on the back straightaway. And I'm about to get copyrighted by Mario if he does not turn that music down. I want to see what happened here to Lily Gordon before we get you the restart. This is called not paying attention. We saw this in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race where somebody was not paying any attention. We also saw this in the truck race. Lily Gordon's spotter was not paying any attention, and that's why the 019 of Ari Springer ran in the back of the crushed orange Toyota. As we're going to get back to the pace car. Let's get you the restart. 96 degrees, winds east at northeast to east miles an hour as far as the winds. 10 to 15 miles an hour, so there you go. Nobody out of the race from that incident. Here we go. Going to go back to green flag racing. Green flag back in the air. Uh-oh, Zoe Perry's got a problem. Not looking good. She has gotten off the racetrack as we're going to stay green. Tough break for a Diva Series driver. And Maria will not be at the next race at Sonoma because she is a part-time driver. We will not see her until Autodrome Chaudière. That will be her next scheduled race. So she'll drop through the points. They have now put Zoe Perry one lap down. Lily Gordon has come to pit road as well. Zoe Perry has made it to pit road on whatever hit her problem is. Emily Elizabeth has some left side damage on her DuPont Chevy. As they are looking underneath the hood to figure out what's wrong with the Marv K Ford Fusion. Lily Gordon just leaving pit road. And Maria, if she wins tonight, she would not be in the playoffs because she's not running the full schedule. She would be in the All-Star race if she wins tonight. There's Brian Gomez. A second win for Brian Gomez. Could solidify himself a spot into the playoffs. Zoe Perry looks like she's back up to full speed. So whatever her problem was is not terminal. Make sure she does not Kevin LePage the field. As she's trying to get back up to full speed. And looks like she's up to full speed, I think. Yeah, she's up to full speed. Frida Suarez has been in the wall. Noah Parker, by the way, making his first start of the year, having a good run. There's Mia Want. This car last week at Springfield, team owner Cody Smart was fined $25 grand for, and there's no other proper way for me to say this, about causing an incident with another driver under the yellow flag last week at Springfield. So Cody had a problem and apparently was being a a not-so-good back marker. And Cody didn't want to talk about that on race day this afternoon. Oh, contact between Abigail Furling and Zoe Perry. That did nothing but put the tire rub on the 79. Lily Gordon off the lead lap. Apparently, she had to make an emergency stop. And here comes Sarah Littletown. How big would this be for Sarah Littletown to win tonight? Because she could could replace somebody, take somebody's ride to get a spot in the All-Star race if she were to win tonight. We have 6 to go. If you're hearing music from my roommate, I do apologize. I'm trying to not get copyrighted. But does my roommate care? Hell no. There's Abigail Furling. I need to actually save Sean's number in my phone. The one who's staying over at our house. Sarah Littletown takes the lead as we're going to be coming up to 4 to go. There's Sydney Vortex, a win for her. She could be in that conversation to get a spot into the playoffs. Two laps to go in this race. Sydney Vortex trying to get a win to get into the playoffs and in the All-Star race. Really critical for Buick to go to victory lane. They have not been to victory lane this year. Were you filling out your book or what? So we're coming to white flag. Take that as a yes. I think he was. Sarah Littletown leads down the back straightaway for the final time. Here she comes through 3 and 4 in a shocker of a race. Sarah Littletown in her return to the Monster Energy Series. It's her first career win. And she does it at Texas. And that's the car's 3rd win of the season. 2 of them with Littlejohn, 1 with Sarah Littletown in her return to the Monster Energy Series. How about that? How you like that for an encore? Great job to Sarah Littletown in her return to the Monster Energy Series. Never won a race until tonight. How about that? Sydney Vortex so close, we'll have to settle for 2nd. Great run for her nevertheless. Audra Baranowskis, Brian Gomez, nice run for him as he'll stay in the top 16 as far as drivers who have a win this season. Bridget Thomas, 6th. Annie Winters, great run in her return to the series in 7th. Mandry Campbell, Henry Williams, and Maria in her final start, at least for now, in 10th. Everybody else had some pretty dismal runs. Lily Gordon, Zoe Perry off the lead lap. Nobody out of the race. Noah Parker got 11th in his first start of the year. Jake 14th. So Boy, that's going to be a point shakeup here in this regard. All right, so now we know who won this race. Let's go to race number 2 tonight. Oh, shut up, NR. I don't want to hear you start playing music.
Drivers. Drivers, start your engines.
So after a good race that was won by Sarah Littletown, we're getting ready for this second race of the day. And we're getting set to see who is going to be, as I'm trying to get it on this channel. There we go. Samantha Maple, Jacob Tutu on the front row. Alexandria Van Dam, Amanda Wallace, who was fined $25,000 for her incident yesterday in the Buffalo Wild Wings series after she made contact with the leader Greta Wagner. So, yeah. There's the rest of the grid. Excuse me. Also to mention, Darby King also fined $25,000 for her incident yesterday. Hopefully, she can have a better race here tonight. Let's get these cars going. You can check down the description for the division timestamps. I apologize if some of my roommates interrupted. All these cards get ready to take the green. I'm gonna go fill up my water cup. And this is also the last chance for these drivers to try to get themselves into the All-Star race. Because starting next week, after next week's race at Sonoma, it will just be Monster Energy Series only for the start of the chase towards the chase, with the exception of Bristol, because we'll have the Ozone Amateur Series drivers there. Or actually, next week we're going to have all 4 series there, because I forgot to mention the Ozone Amateur Series had their Sonoma race rescheduled to next week, as we're Green Flag Racing in this division. So ignore in the Ozone Amateur Series race, the 3rd race, where I said we'll see you next time out in the chase towards the chase. But when we record next week's race, then I'll say it for real. There's Jacob Tutu in the 41. He's trying to get himself into the top 50 in points. He's 67th in the points. A second win could do him some good. And try to confirm himself a spot into the playoffs. Had a good qualifying effort. And Samantha Maple leads a second win for her. She could solidify herself a spot into the playoffs. She would bypass all of those one-time winners. As the caution is out, Samantha Greenville's involved. Hazel Triggs, Kelsey Hobbs, Nick Batson, Timothy Grenville. Under yellow for the first time in this division. And this wreck was bigger than our first wreck we had earlier tonight. Looks like Alice Kitchens got really high and up into the wall, came down into Nick Batson and got Kelsey Hobbs spun. McBatson then goes around, nowhere for the 8 of Grenville to go. And then there's where Samantha Greenville gets collected. Then she goes up and gets Hazel Triggs. So, as we are now under the caution for the first time in this division, some drivers coming to pit road to repair some of the damage. None of the leaders pit. And now we'll get you the restart. June Einstein just blew an engine, so that's a tough break for June Einstein. As she's not going to get herself back in the top 50 in the points, so June Einstein's now theoretically now in a must-win situation. Out of the race are the 05 and the 33. June Einstein out of the race with an engine failure, and Timothy Grenville is now off the lead lap. Samantha Maple leads. Sam Johnson second. Belle San Diego in third. She had a dismal run yesterday in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Leela Bakai fourth. And Alexandria Van Dam fifth. Sixth is Nina Cambridge. Jacob Tutu in seventh. Eighth, Riley Anderson. Amanda Wallace ninth. And Tico Jumiaka in 10th. Tico had an okay race in the truck series a couple of days ago. Back to green. I spilled water. I overfilled my cup. At least it's water and not a pop. There's Leela Bakai. Leela Bakai now on a winless drought. It's been a while since Bakai had been to victory lane. I was checking the back of the field. Alexandria Van Dam. Jacob Tutu needs to get a second win to get himself in the top 50 in points. That way he would have 2 victories on the season. Jacob Tutu trying to do that here tonight at a track he's never really good at. So we'll see if Jacob can prove me wrong. Oh, big wreck in the back. That was Sam Johnson. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Fontaine. Oh, Quincy Einstein's in it. Oh, this is the big one at Texas. This is the big one at Texas. Noah Tutu, Marianne Jamestown, Makoto Tanaka. Quincy Einstein torn up. Lauren Chamberlain. Ah, dear. Lot of cars torn up in turn number 3. Leela, the 09's the leader. Let's take a look at the replay of what happened. Started with Sam Johnson. He got hooked by Tico Jumiaka. Into the wall he goes. Gets Jumiaka. So Jumiaka's going to have some damage to his machine. Then the 18's going to go spinning, and the first car that's going to clobber him is the 43. How did Schweitz miss that? Wow. And then Quincy gets a piece of it. So he loses brakes. There's Jamestown collected. And then Tanaka, Noah Tutu got a piece of it. That was 6 cars involved in that little ordeal. And then the yellow flag is out. We've had a lot of hard wrecks here this evening. Samantha Maple, a former winner this season, outside the cut line. Even though she already has a win this season. As we bring up our Wendy's race menu. Next week, all 4 series will be in action from the Infineon Raceway. Of course, we are rescheduling it from the little wildfires we had earlier on. Of course, we were supposed to go to Loudon, but we decided not to. And now we're back to green. So next week we're heading to Sonoma to cap off the first half of the regular season for all 3 series. Then Monster Energy will be by themselves. They'll travel up to Fargo, North Dakota to kick off All-Star Race Weekend. Excuse me. Those that have a win this season and those who won last season will be in the All-Star race. Correction for Abby Furling, it's her second start. She ran a race earlier on when I made that little error earlier on this season. So there you go. There's Hattie Swore. Had her engine let go on her in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race yesterday. She was pretty bummed out after that. Nina Cambridge is now in the lead. A second win for Cambridge. She would bypass all of those one-time winners and could possibly solidify herself a spot into the playoffs, and it could be the only Audi in the playoffs. Past the halfway point in this division race. There's Belle San Diego. Was involved in a big wreck in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race yesterday. Thankfully, she was all right. Pretty bummed out, just like Hattie Swore was. Amanda Wallace had a pre-race meeting in the big green and black and green truck this morning with the interim race director Amber McMillan, who's been subbing for Patrick Watson the last few weeks. Patrick Watson will be back for All-Star Race Weekend. McMillan will be subbing again next week at Sonoma. So we're finally adding more races for the AutoZone Amateur Series. It was originally going to be 15. Now we're up to 17. And you will see those drivers racing next week as we get ready for some road racing. And all 4 series will be there. Of course, we'll kick off with non-charters for Trucks and Buffalo Wild Wings Series. That will be not on TV. Then we'll kick it off with the AutoZone Amateur Series. They will go road racing. I'm going to turn the AI down for that track, as Timothy Grenville is going to be a driver they are going to keep an eye on. Out of the race, I forgot to go over this. Out of the race after that incident, Quincy Einstein, Marion Jamestown, Sam Johnson, Crystal Fontaine, and Noah Tutu. I forgot to go over that, so I do apologize. 33 in the race, 34 on track, 33 on the lead lap. As I hit the wrong camera angle. Here's Amanda Wallace. Jacob Tutu up in the wall. So we'll have the AutoZone Amateur Series drivers go first. Then it'll be the Truck Series, then it'll be the Buffalo Wild Wings Series, and then we cap it off with our division races for Munster. And that will be the end of the first half of the regular season, as Timothy Grenville going to be an annoying back marker. And now Nina Cambridge is going to take the lead for good. Ten to go. As Grenville continues to hold up, Makoto Tanaka will be the next driver they're going to encounter. All of the non-charter will be not on the air. The only time we'll be on the air will be the main events, just to save me some time. And now we have two Audis in the fight. We have Mackenzie Thompson and Nina Cambridge. Thompson has not been to victory lane this season. She has not won since Kansas of 2016. That got her 2 wins and got her into the playoffs, only to miss out the championship. And Tanaka's going to hold up the 0, and that's going to allow Mackenzie Thompson to take the lead. How big would this be for Mackenzie Thompson? Not having a good season. 133rd in points, trying to make the play, trying to get a win to get her locked in the All-Star race. In the newly formed Stuart Haas Audi Racing. And of course, the AutoZone Amateur Series was supposed to have raced at Sonoma for their third race of the season until it was postponed due to wildfires. Same with the Monster Energy Series. But since we figured all 3 series were going to be at Sonoma anyway, instead of going to Loudon. Of course, Loudon will be officially off the calendar for good because I don't like that racetrack. Jacob Tutu, I don't see him. Did he fall back? Yep. It's not going to help Jacob Tutu get himself in the top 50 in points. 2 to go. Samantha Maple trying to get her second win of the season and bypass all of those drivers. 2 to go. Side by side, Audi. It's an Audi 1-2. If they don't do something, the top 2 or third on back could catch up, and they're stalling their momentum. That's not good. They're allowing third place to catch up. 1 lap to go here at Texas in this division. Will Thompson go to victory lane? Will Samantha Maple confirm herself a spot into the playoffs? Is Pablo Massa going to be a part of this battle for the win? Last time down the back straightaway. Oh, this is going to be a drag race to the line. Off turn 4, Samantha Maple will get her second win of the season and win at Texas. And Samantha Maple, who was on the outside looking in, might have just locked herself a spot into this season's Monster Energy Series chase for the championship, as long as she remains in the top 50 in points. Standings are official. Mackenzie Thompson so close will settle for second. Ben Tennyson third. Paula Massa, Alexandra Van Dam, Vanellope Von Schweetz, Lisa Gonzalez, Leela Bakai, Darby King, and Riley Anderson, the top 10. Darby King, a quiet race for her after she was in trouble yesterday. Looking on down through the remainder, Jacob Tutu, 25th, is not going to cut it for him. We had 32 on the lead lap. Hazel Triggs, the last of them. Tanaka and Grenville were off the lead lap. Everybody else, DNF. Well, so now, this could mean a lot as far as the playoffs are concerned. Some drivers picking up their second win of the season. That's good for a... Shut up, official. I was talking, not you. Rude, crude people. There's Sierra Harris, who's on the pole for this one. Now a lot cooler here at Texas, so...
Drivers, start your engines.
And here is the rest of the starting lineup for this one. Lulu Champagne will make her final start of the season next week at Sonoma, so we will not see her for the rest of the season because she's trying to get herself into the playoffs. Save us some time. I'll get us to the green. Hayscar is off. Good job.
What does that mean?
As green flag is out, we're underway. Now you gotta mop that up. Great. Sierra Harris will lead the first lap. Betty Johnson going to take the race lead in that white, green, and red number 83. Hyundai Sonata has not been to victory lane this season. Leo Einstein, the captain of the Einstein Lancer team. He's yet to find victory lane this season. Only June Einstein is locked into the All-Star race. Which also reminds me, I need to also tell you all this. As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, what I was getting ready to say before that happened, only the race winners that have won this season and last season will take part in the All-Star race. There will not be anyone in the Monster Energy Open. There's not going to be a Monster Energy Open because there's more than 42 winners that will take part. So we'll run 2 division races and we'll have 42 drivers battling for $1 million at M&M's. There's Manny Rivera.
I don't even know.
What drink was it?
Sprite.
Was it regular Sprite?
No, diet.
I'll take care of it tomorrow, don't worry. Sarah Redmond brought out the first yellow. And looks like that was Chloe Carmichael got tied and got into the 71. Lulu Champagne got a piece of it, but everybody else did a great job missing that.
All over. Right here. Busted.
Don't worry, Andre. I will take care of it for Steven tomorrow. You know, Steven is lucky that I can take care of things and replace them real quickly, so he can thank me for that.
I mean to.
That's called you don't jerk the damn door open.
Um,
Just open it gently, not jerk the flip out of it, because that's what spill is. We're back to green. Nobody out of the race from that incident, but I'm seeing some drivers not having good nights, like Kevin Joseph at the rear of the field. Not sure what happened to Kevin. Oh, he's got damage. That would explain why. He must have ran the back of somebody under the yellow flag, so that's a tough break for Kevin. Was it? I can't see it from there. Zero sugar? Okay. He probably bought it from Casey's. So I'll replace it, and I'll say, by the way, Steven, you can thank me later. Because Mario didn't replace it. I did. Well, that's another trip I'm going to have to do tomorrow. But that will be coming back. Thankfully, I get paid tomorrow as I'm recording this race. Don't you like it, Andre? Every time something breaks from Steven's deal, I'm the freaking one that's the responsibility to do it for him. It's like, Jesus. I'll just get him 2. Was it 1 or 2 that he threw away that was busted? Okay. I'll let him know. He'll be like, what's this one Sprite Zero? I'm the one who replaced it for you. Because Moron McGee decided to bust it last night. We can definitely say we're glad this is like, not carpet, but tile. Oh, we got a spin on the back straightaway, and it didn't bring out a yellow. And that's Amber Downey. And also the, and she was collected by somebody. I think that was the 008. Or that was the 8, actually. That was William Johnson. And they both got some significant damage. But since they didn't spin all the way around, the caution did not come out. That is a tough break for those drivers. Primo Rossi, Manny Rivera, Sandy Stewart. There's Max Lipson. He's had a struggling last couple of weeks in the Buffalo Wild Wings series. Kevin Joseph holding up Jazz Sugartown, who is running really well. And Leo Einstein just got the race lead. Leo Einstein's last win in the Monster Energy Series came at Pensacola. It was the same number. The only catch was it was a Toyota, not a Mitsubishi Lancer. Leo Einstein trying to become the second Einstein driver to go to victory lane. June Einstein's been to victory lane twice. We talked about Red Riding Hood, who was on a winless drought for a long time until she went to victory lane last week. Leo Einstein now owns the longest active winless drought. Or actually, no, his little sister does. His little sister has not been to victory lane since 2015. Because last week, Red Riding Hood snapped the longest winless drought. Because she came into that race last week at Pocono with the longest winless drought. Yeah, we were at Pocono last week. 2 weeks ago, we were at Springfield. So, caution's out. Brittany White, the points leader! The points leader was involved! Tyler Henderson, Sally Foster, but the points leader was involved. Ah, no. She got turned by Great Lakes. Or, I'm sorry, that's Lisa Simpson, my bad. How much damage is on that Sprint PCS Chevrolet? Looks like a little bit. But then Tyler Henderson was collected in whatever this happened. Let's see. I think it was Abby Goodman, Sally Foster, nowhere to go. Almost swept up Mike Chilton there. Wow, wow, wow. Everybody else did a good job, but the points leader, Brittany White, was involved. That is huge in the Drivers' Championship. And this is good news because the guy who's trying to run her down for the points leader, I think, is in this race. No, he's in the next race. This is good news for drivers like Amanda Whitecastle, Luke Knight, Valentina Fernandez, who are trying to run down Brittany White for the points lead. And if Brittany White has a bad finish, this could be a golden opportunity for them to take advantage. Because Brittany White will still keep the points lead, but her points lead is going to be in big trouble. Tyler Henderson and Sally Foster out of the race. So that was definitely what Valentina Fernandez needed. And Brittany White's trying to go for her 5th win of the season. Well, that's not going to happen. I also failed to mention Stephanie Driscoll is making her Monster Energy Series debut. Of course, Emily Elizabeth was in this ride, but Emily Elizabeth was in the 024. And she'll be in that ride for the rest of the season. So Stephanie Driscoll took over the driving duties of that Lincoln Continental. Comes Jazz Sugartown. $106 in points. Driscoll currently drives the number 1 car in the Buffalo Wild Wings Series race, was in that race. Driscoll's trying to make it into the series next year. See if Brittany White's made up any progress. Somewhat. But a golden opportunity for drivers trying to run her down for the points lead, like Luke Knight. If Knight goes to victory lane, Knight's going to cut that points lead down big. Good run for Stephanie Driscoll as she's making her Monster Energy Series debut in a respectable run. She's only going to run this car for 10 races, and I believe somebody else is going to run that car for the rest of the season. Four to go. And let's see, Sugartown is looking for her 3rd win of the season as she quickly dispatches Kevin Joseph without much of an issue. That was no contest. Leo Einstein does likewise. Hannah Blue Jay having a good run tonight. So is Erica Douglas. Of course, Douglas took part in the Truck Series race 2 days ago. 2 laps of racing to go. But that is huge right there with the points leader being involved. She looked unstoppable, and now that points lead of 202 is going to be eaten up by somebody. Valentina Fernandez and some other drivers who are right there battling with Brittany White for the points lead. But Brittany White, as I said, will still keep the points lead heading into next week at Sonoma. White flag for Jazz Sugartown, looking for career win number 3. It's a shame she can compete like this earlier in the season, but it is what it is. She'll definitely leapfrog a bunch of drivers in the points. Off turn 4, win number 3 for Jazz Sugartown. Takes the win at Texas. Another win for Audi as they go to victory lane. Jazz Sugartown has now 3 wins this season, but still outside the top 50. Standings are now official. No, I want to see you, derping hyena. And she did it from the rear of the field. That's a big A+. Blue Jays 2nd, Leo Einstein, Sandy Stewart. How about the rookie, Stephanie Driscoll, 5th? Great run for her in her rookie debut. Erica Douglas, 6th. 7th, Samuel Fisher, Stephanie Robertson, Betty Johnson, Amanda Scoutmaster, the top 10. There's the rest of your results. Holly Wilkins. She might be outside the top 50 in points with that bad run, and also had a playoff spot, so that means her chances of making the playoffs could take a big hit. William Johnson, Kevin Joseph, Amber Downey off the lead lap. Sally Foster, Tyler Henderson out of the race due to the incident. And we're now to our last race of the night. So let's head there right now. Shut up, Dio. I did not want you to speak. Oh, before we do that, I need to do something real quickly before we start the last race of the day. So you can technically say this is kind of an intermission report, which it is. I forgot to put Panda Express. Oops. Oh, whoops. Hang on. There we go. Alright. Let's go ahead and start. Right, who's the shut up, official. I was talking. It's like Megan Jones gonna start on the pole. Last place is Hermione Sweet. There's the play or the oh shit. Alright, there we go. Now we got cars rolling off. Let me go ahead and get them to turn 4. There we go. Last race of the night. Then we'll pack up, head off to Sonoma next week. Green flag, last race of the night underway. There's Valentina Fernandez at the back. Brianna Knight led the first lap. 74 out of the throttle. Brianna Knight currently the leader. Forgot to change paint schemes on the 88, but that's alright. Lauren Ekstrom coming up here to the front. She's got a fast, hot run. Oh, Rebecca Hawkins in the wall. There's Luke Knight, second in points. Yellow. Yellow. We have a wreck in turn number... Somebody spun. Oh, Annie Thomas was wrecked. Somebody up there spun up ahead. Yellow is out for sure. Oh, that was Leslie Gordon. It's like her car got tight as I hit my phone on accident. I do apologize. Sandy Watson, Lauren Ekstrom gets a little piece of the Mountain Dew Retro Chevy. And then who hit the 23 and spun her around? Oh, Lauren Ekstrom just took out her countryman. Hard in the outside wall went the M&M's Caramel Hyundai Sonata. Don't think Lauren Ekstrom was going to do that on purpose to her countrymen, but she did. Nobody out of the race from that incident. We're getting ready to go back to green. Back to green here at Texas. Excuse me. Here's Annie Thomas, Whitney Wolf. And down to the crunch time here in this race. Megan Jones trying to find victory lane for the first time this season. Lauren Ekstrom now in last place after getting the wall. Kelly Moore in the 6th. Him is race 60th in points. Was a total of 29 points back of 50th in the standings. That was occupied by Hermione Sweet coming in this race tonight. Could be in a points shakeup heading into next week. There's Alita Therese. Therese comes to this race in that critical 30th in the points. A win for Alita Therese. She could be into the possible spot into the playoffs. Right now, it could be a possible runaway as far as Rookie of the Year is concerned with Amanda Whitecastle. Nothing else has happened. While they're racing, I'm going to take one final bathroom break. And then we'll take the checker flag and sign off for the night. I am back. Excuse me. Elena Saitin trying to take the lead from Alita Therese. Saitin not battling for this championship. But Brianna Knight says otherwise. Ten to go in this race. Brianna Knight, by the way, was 51st in points. She was 5 points back of 50th in the standings. That would be Hermione Sweet. Sweet is in this race. But Hermione Sweet is all the way in 36th. So a golden opportunity for Brianna Knight. A second win for her can solidify herself a spot into the playoffs. Wouldn't that be awesome for Brianna Knight to battle for the championship for the second year in a row? We might end up having an LCQ. To figure out who is going to be in the playoffs and who's not. This is looking good for Brianna Knight. Could be another driver, a two-time winner this season, and leapfrog all of those one-time winners. I know a win for you could mean good for the playoffs, but multiple wins could assure you a spot into the playoffs. Remember, Jazz Sugartown has 3 wins. Here's the issue. She's not in the top 50 in the points. If Elena Saitin goes to victory lane, it won't mean squat. If this driver goes to victory lane, she might lock herself a spot into the playoffs. Caution's out. This might be the race. Jessica Miller involved. Josephine Bouvier, a former winner this season. And they took each other in the wall. This race might end under caution. If that's the case, Brianna Knight has gotten her second win of the year. Boy. We go up to the pace car. They gotta get the one to go right now. And they did get one to go. We're gonna have a one-lap dash to the end of this one, boys and girls. Here we go, last lap. Does anyone have anything left for Brianna Knight? Green and white are out. One more lap to go. We race back no matter what. This is a one-lap dash. Here comes London Jackson. But that might have just sealed the deal. Second win of the season for Brianna Knight. She more than likely might have confirmed herself a spot into the playoffs. And that is huge for Brianna Knight. Needed a second win, and she got it. Did Brianna Knight, for the second year in a row, be in one of the 16 spots into the playoffs? We'll find out. Alien Sights in second, London Jackson, Kelly Moore, Luke Cage top 5. Then it was Jones, Therese, Lynn, Washington, and Crenshaw, the top 10. Dylan Cunningham was the only driver that dropped out of the race. Mighty Sweet 35th. That was what Brianna Knight needed. Yellow's out for some reason, but the race is already over, so. I can tell you this. Why? Because he had 29, not the run he would have liked. I can tell you this. The points are going to be shaken up big time. But we still know Brittany White, despite her disappointing finish, and Luke Knight finished 25th. That was second in points. Where did Whitecastle finish? She finished all the way back in 32nd, so let's see. Bouvier had a disappointing run, 38th. And where did the 28 finish? 12th. So that means Valentina Fernandez is going to be second in points leaving tonight. And she was the gal that's been trying to run Brittany White down for the points lead. She might have just got cut in that points lead, but Brittany White will still keep the points lead. Heading into next week at Sonoma, which will have all 4 series there. The AutoZone Amateur Series, the Coca-Cola Truck Series, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Monster Energy Series. So that will be fun if you ask me. Hope you guys enjoyed this evening's 4 divisions. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA crew today. We've shown your full finish results. You will see your point standings and rookie points heading into your pre-race show next week at Sonoma. All 4 series will be there. I can't wait to see you all there. Till then, I've been Dean DeVolo signing off. Good night from Texas Motor Speedway. And you have been watching yet another broadcast courtesy of the PCSRA, the best center racing around the world since 2017.